month exactly from the Battlefield 6 launch, and we get what is perhaps the biggest surprise announcement they could have made. Today, Battlefield 6 showed off its last core pillar of the game out of nowhere, Battle Royale. No real build-up or marketing or anything, just kind of a, hey, we're gonna do this. And what's crazier is that we'll also be able to get some hands on this, likely starting maybe this week. Today we're running down all you need to know, so drop your thoughts, drop a like, and make sure to subscribe for more Battlefield 6 and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have you in the community. We've got a very, very busy fall upcoming with multiple game launches, so we'd love to have you around if you'd like to stay up to date with all that kind of stuff. But let's start out with this announcement. Truly, out of nowhere, it was something that 5 p.m. Eastern on the dot, it was mentioned, Battle Royale, the Battlefield way. We see a great opportunity to infuse the core Battlefield pillars of class-based squad play, tactical destruction, and vehicle combat into the Battle Royale genre to create a high-stakes and adrenaline-pumping gameplay experience. This is Battlefield's twist on a classic formula, so you can expect to find all the core principles of Battlefield taking place within this mode. Gadgets, explosives, destructive environments, and vehicles can all be used to secure the win. What will be playable? For a map, Battlefield is no stranger to epic maps, and this all-new map has been built for the Battle Royale experience. It features a diverse array of tactical points of interest, each with distinct layouts and themes that offer unique gameplay opportunities. Squad play in this test, each match will feature 100 players organized into 25 4-player squads, fighting to be the last one standing. Communicating with your squad through pings, text, or VoIP aims to boost the experience and enhance their tactical options. And second chances will be available where, between support class revives and mobile redeploy options, there are multiple tools to keep your squad in the fight. Now, that was some high level stuff, but let's talk about some key gameplay details here. 100 players is that starting point and seems pretty normal feeling for player size, but it's also really dependent, I think, upon map sizing and traversal methods. This was mentioned for just simply the Battle Royale Labs testing. We don't know if that's going to be the final number that we end up seeing here come launch of the Battle Royale, whenever that may end up happening, or if it's going to be something that increases, is decreased. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, also the mention of VoIP being something to enhance the tactical nature of the engagement is nice, hoping that that also is a proximity chat-based thing. I feel like that would be very cool, whether they're at labs or in launch. I think that's a nice feature to have within Battle Royales at this point, and honestly, just all games of the social environment as is. The big thing that you're going to be trying to outrun and be conscious of beyond just other enemy players and anything that may be going on in the environment is the Instakill ring of fire that denotes the edge of play here. They said, we set out to bring the most dangerous ring in gaming to Battle Royale that instantly kills players upon contact. With urgent warnings as the fire approaches, soldiers will be pushed into more intense firefights as the game space continues to shrink. There's no jumping in and out of it, no using it for cover, no walking through it. If you get caught in it, you are done. We're excited to see how this ring affects the pace of play and how it creates spontaneous showdowns. So no gas plays, no using it for cover. Dead instantly is quite the deviation here from a lot of the Battle Royale experiences we've seen in the past. Honestly, most of them that we've seen historically with Battle Royale. They're not necessarily super forgiving in some areas, but you don't die immediately. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. The class system, of course, because it is Battlefield, is going to be there. This system will be in place transferring from multiplayer to the Battle Royale, where your tactical abilities to aid your team are going to be there. So if you want to have the full balance of one player for every single role, great, you can. You can help your team out in any way needed. But if you want to have all 4 of the same, you can also do that. So that's something you have to pick and choose. But one thing that's going to be a caveat here at that is that once you choose your class pregame, you cannot change it. So keep that in mind. I'm curious to see if later on down the line they'll add something that you can swap mid-game, like a location you have to go to in order to interact with that. But for the time being, once you pick your class, you're done with that. It's set for the rest of the game. Your weaponry and your gear, it said there are 5 tiers of weapons to loot alongside with attachments, throwables like frag grenades, gadgets like RPGs, and strike packages like airstrikes, along with armor, upgrade kits, and custom drops of favorited weapons. All of these can be found across the experience throughout general loot crates, class-specific crates, unlocked armor trucks, mission rewards, or by looting defeated enemies. So you're going to have a plethora of different ways to get these different things, and when they mentioned custom drops of favorited weapons, that's essentially going to be your sort of loadout drop. Again, we don't know exactly just yet what all comes along with that, or if it's just one specific weapon you built out, but that's also something you can get more custom built stuff as well. Missions are going to play a prime role here with this, where players can gain access to missions to get XP to rank up, seemingly your soldier level in-game, so you have access to those features from multiplayer, like the different tiers and levels of your class abilities, giving you better and/or bonus abilities, but also things called intel cases will grant XP for your whole squad. Mission details will outline the available rewards like weapon caches, vehicle keys, or mobile redeploy units, leaving it up to you to decide what is going to be worth your time or the risk of it, and if you want to go for it. Once the mission objective is complete, it is mentioned the rewards are airdropped in, so squads are going to have to stay alert because it seems like you can steal those things from other enemies or be ambushed if that's the case. Redeploys and revives are going to be there for this battle royale, where you have the option between support revives and mobile redeploy stations. There's different ways to get back into the fight. Vehicles, it said players can find common transport vehicles around the map or unlock powerful armored vehicles to turn the tide of battle. Their intent is to offer more ways for players to traverse the map early on and in a match to create interesting combined arms action in the process. And finally, tactical destruction, of course. Battlefield, what is it without destruction? It's going to be everywhere in this mode, it said. From creating pathways through walls to toppling entire buildings, they look forward to seeing players' ingenuity with destruction and how they use it to defeat their enemies. So again, all of this, while it's still kind of very basic stuff, crazy that it just was announced out of nowhere. Like, literally zero build up, nothing. The very most we can say is, which we'll touch on in a second, David Sirland mentioned something a couple of hours before this happened, but yeah. Out of nowhere, we get probably the largest announcement for Battlefield 6 since its multiplayer reveal. So, pretty cool. Now, if you want to get in on this, it's going to be tested within Battlefield Labs. A lot of people are already in Labs, a lot of people are not. Lab signups are still active and can be done, that if you want to go and check it out now, you can sign up. Who knows if you'll get in time for the next playtest, but it is possible you could still get in on any number of them coming up. Technically, this post doesn't say anything about a date for when they'll start testing this, but again, coming back to it, David Sirland ended up having a cryptic Friday tweet earlier before this announcement. So, pretty fair assumption that when we see Battlefield Labs testing apparently taking place often on Fridays, that David Sirland tweeting about Friday, it's a fair assumption, I think, that it's going to be this week they start up on this. Also, it would check out given the fact that the 1BF leaking group showcased the new logs for the Battlefield Labs client, indicating a Battle Royale association with it on the app evaluation details. So that's something to consider, and maybe we end up seeing some leaks coming out of this as of this weekend. I mean, everything's under NDA, but you've seen how that's worked out the last, 8 months or so that Battlefield Labs has been active. So it seems like it's all going to be coming to a head here. But honestly, I'm very surprised about having this right now. We talked about it like last week or 2 weeks ago at this point, where we ended up saying that, yeah, Labs is going to have some stuff. They already detailed that Myrick Valley and Operation Firestorm would be in Labs. They said at the multiplayer reveal that we'd end up seeing this, at the time, unannounced Battle Royale being something that makes its way into Labs. Now, of course, we do know officially it's the Battle Royale. So we knew those three things would be coming, but leading up to the launch of Battlefield 6, I kind of just thought that they would end up having Myrick Valley and Operation Firestorm for 1 or 2 weeks leading into it, some off period, launching the game, and then resuming testing for stuff going into, say, next year. Early next year is that rumor for the Battlefield 6 launch of the Battle Royale. So, I mean, if they're moving it up this quick, kind of makes me wonder if they move that launch window as well, but that's just pure speculation. Overall thoughts though, honestly, I say regardless of what you think about Battle Royales, like me personally, I'm definitely burnt out on a lot of Battle Royales. I'm very much so excited to try this out just because the entire Battlefield 6 package has had me very excited, very energetic to jump in and try out what's new from there. Whether or not I stick with it is yet to be seen just because Battle Royale. But I honestly say bring on the competition, man. Like, I think that as we're seeing right now, Call of Duty as a main direct competitor is making a lot of different adjustments that seem to be in relation to the success we've seen already for Battlefield 6. The anticipation of it, the sentiment behind the game, and that, if it translates like anything from the Battle Royale into Warzone, they're going to end up making the same types of adjustments, putting them on their heels, realizing, hey, we got to fight for our player base here, and then vice versa. If Call of Duty does something good, Battlefield's going to have to do something good to respond. So, like, this kind of stuff, I think, is just super great for the players. I think this is a healthy ecosystem for the players to have these two different publishers and two different games fighting over our playtime. Because if they're both trying to lure us in, well, you got to make it enticing. So fingers crossed this is very good for the competition. As for the gameplay itself, I'm very curious to see how the balance of everything works. Like 100 players, vehicles, how that gameplay flow feels. Very curious to see what comes out of this, but also I'm really interested to see the instant death firing. I think that's the thing that surprised me the most here out of this, is to not have a ring that you can end up making some plays around or through. That's going to change, I think, a whole lot of how people play this game and take their engagements. I think that mid-game is going to be drastically different, because a lot of the times in Battle Royales, you'll see that initial fighting here where people land contested and then the pacing slows down a bit. A lot of people may play a bit more passive, play towards the edge of the ring, or whatever the case, and then things kind of funnel to a head late game. But if you have that situation where you have to move and you have to be on the hunt with this ring right behind you, that's going to change the dynamic, I think, a little bit of how that mid-game experience will go. So as somebody that likes to see that excitement out of it, I'm all for seeing how this plays out. Whether or not it's great or not, who knows? But anyways, that's the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale announcement. Very surprising, but hey, let me know your thoughts down below. Drop your thoughts, drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Battlefield 6 and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have you in the community, but for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.